Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Hi and welcome to How I Doubled, the show where we take a look at businesses that have doubled their turnover within the last 2 years, and then we look at the 5 key things that have led to that increase in turnover, break it down, and then hopefully teach you at home some of those tips so that you can implement them into your business as well. Well, the online world has been regarded as the wild, wild west, with prospectors looking to stake their claim in the online gold rush. Not only to start a business, but to have a business with longevity in this space is becoming more and more of a challenge. And today, we're joined by the co-founders and directors of Online Marketing Gurus, a business who has not only set up, but also managed to thrive year on year, and we're going to check out some of their secrets. So joining us today, Andrew Rasso and Mez Homayunfard. Gents, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Andrew, we might as well start with you. Tell me a little bit about Online Marketing Gurus. What is it that you do?
So Online Marketing Gurus has been around approximately 2 years now. We help businesses get more exposure through Google. So if someone were to Google a key term, obviously we're wanting our clients to appear on the first page to deliver traffic and obviously an increased amount of inquiries in business to their website. We do this through organic search, paid advertising and content marketing.
And obviously it's a space where every man and his dog seems to be trying to start a business in this area.
Correct.
What made you think that you had a different offering?
Well, look, obviously I've been in the space for quite a few years now. I've seen what worked, what didn't, working at different companies in the space. And obviously we came up with a new strategy. We looked at new techniques that were working, that were currently not working, and we put together the strategy from the start and delivered. And as soon as we did that, it worked quite well.
Great. And Mez, tell me a little bit about your background. Where were you before you started Online Marketing Gurus?
I actually worked in sales for a number of years. So I started off in my family's business. So we're actually in Persian rugs, funnily enough, which is a family background. Moved on to work in consumer electronics, so JB Hi-Fi, Harvey Norman. And I think that was where that got me interested in the online space a lot, seeing the sort of proliferation of companies like Kogan. Moved on to work in software and did that for 2 years and met up with Andy, who I'd known from uni, and that's sort of where our transition happened into OMG.
But what made you think that I can go out and have a crack on my own here? I can make something work on my own.
Well, the industry, particularly for online advertising at that time, was really growing quite significantly. The amount of money people were spending in online advertising was, growing, 3 to 4-fold every year in Australia. So, seeing those stats, sort of combining the skill set that Andrew had in, search with my background in enterprise sales, we just thought, we've got the bases covered, or so we thought at the beginning. And it's been a fun ride, but that was mainly it. Just meeting a good partner, good industry. So it took the plunge.
And Andrew, tell us about what your background was before you got involved.
So I used to work in the industry. I used to work for a few SEO companies in the past for about 3 years before we started the Online Marketing Gurus. As I was saying, it really put me in the deep end of what was working at the time, what wasn't working, clients were happy, why clients weren't happy. So it really gave us a head start into when we started the business, what we needed to do to make sure it was successful. So being in the industry definitely gave me a head start there.
So you were already in the industry though. Why did you give up a nice secure paycheck and think that I can make it on my own?
Look, I think it's one of those things where as a young kid I always wanted to do something myself. Obviously the financial factor is great, but making a difference to people's businesses was the most important thing. And it's one of those things where I was in sales, I was in account management. I thought I could do a little bit better than what was currently happening. It's not that what was going on was terrible, it's just that I saw improvements. And as soon as I saw improvements, we thought we could do it ourselves and build our own team and build our own culture and be rewarded for that.
And Mez, we sit here now and the business turning over in excess of $2.5 million with some pretty ambitious projections, but those projections seem realistic given the scale of growth so far of the business.
Yeah, definitely. So we, my background was in financial software. We sort of measure everything to a T. So yeah, the things are looking very good. For this year, we've taken a lot of learning lessons over the last 2 years in terms of, business culture, processes, systems to help us scale. And I think that's the main word around the office now is scale and, systems. So yeah, things are looking very positive. I think the most important thing is just, learning from our mistakes and treating them as an opportunity for improvement every time. And that's what's allowed us to continue to grow rather than to hit those sort of like plateaus and roadblocks that most businesses see when they hit that type of, hover around that $1 million revenue mark. So yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, you've certainly broken through that glass ceiling in a heck of a hurry. But Andrew, if I may ask, who is your target audience? Look,
when we initially started, it was small to medium businesses, and that still plays around 80% of the clients that we are currently servicing. But over probably the past 6 to 12 months, we have moved into more of the enterprise market, the medium to large corporations. We've broke into the USA, we broke into the UK. We have clients literally all across the world now. So it's gone from servicing small to medium clients, which is our bread and butter, to more enterprise clients and doing full-blown strategies for them.
And Mez, you touched on it before, it hasn't always been an easy ride. There have been challenges along the way. I imagine
certainly.
Explosive growth, that's the only way to describe it. And for a lot of people, there's a fear based around growing too fast. Was that a problem with you guys?
Well, certainly. Scale and systems is something that has always been. It's not. I think one of those things where you can say, "Okay, cool, we've done it now." It's something that's continually. It's agile. It's improving, and it's fluid. And that's what we've learned over the last 12 months. That to maintain that growth, you can't have a static approach to scale. It has to be continually looking at new systems, exploring new types of softwares that we can. That we can use. For us, the last 6 months has been a lot about business culture. So it's how we can use gamification software and new technology to help build the culture of our brand. So it's always evolving. But I've never felt like we've been growing too fast for our systems, but we've always managed to stretch the limits of what we've had. And thankfully, to date, it's always paid off. We've gotten great results for our clients. So yeah, we've definitely pushed it to the limit a few times though, and it's been nerve-wracking, and we've lost sleep. So.
Well, it's a great lead into our first point here today, which is actually tenacity, and obviously, from everything that you guys have described so far, Andrew, it's played a pretty significant role in the fact that you've been able to grow this far so fast.
Oh, look, I agree. Tenacity is obviously very important with the business growing from where it has in the past 2 years. Sticking to things is obviously, played a very important role as well. And obviously, Mez and I have had, a substantial amount of changes and problems that we've had in the past. But as long as obviously we stuck through it, we've had lots of fights. It's been very emotional, but it's more like husband and wife at the moment. But we stuck, we stuck to it. We stuck to our guns, and it's worked quite well.
So tell us about the start of the relationship. You mentioned that you guys aren't lifelong friends from school or anything like that. How did the relationship come about?
Initially, we were studying together at Macquarie University. We both have a bachelor in business and commerce marketing, and I believe we're actually doing an online marketing course where Mez and I first spoke. We're speaking about business in general. We're actually speaking about starting a supplement company at the time, I think it was. And yeah, I think Mez was the only person I knew who I actually talked to about business on a regular basis. I was working in North Sydney at the time. Mez was working at North Sydney at the time, and that's when my initial thought to start the company was. Mez and I had some lunch, and yeah, the rest was history.
It seems like an easy transition, but the truth is a lot of people out there, myself included, have had businesses in the past where partnerships haven't gone that well. Was there ever a trepidation? How did you realise that the two of you were a good fit?
We've always had a really complementary set of skill sets. Initially, we did have to pivot what we were doing, but we very quickly found our feet and where our strengths lie. My attention to detail and admin is really, really bad. Andrew's really, really good at that. I'm good at picking up the phone and talking to random people. Andy's not as comfortable with that. There's just different skill sets that we have that complement each other. We did initially have other minority shareholder partners in our business, and we worked really well with them over, I think, our first 12 months. And when we sort of realised we were heading in different directions, we bought them out. So that was an example of sort of where our personal lives and business lives had different goals. So we amicably sort of split there. But no, with Andrew and myself, we've always been on the same wavelength. Yeah, we've had biffs from time to time, whatever, but it's all healthy stuff.
And tell us about the initial shareholders.
Yep.
How did that process come about? And ultimately, obviously there'd be some details you can't share, but how did that ultimately finish?
Well, we had some guys that had a successful startup business as well in the hosting space. Two of our friends who offered to give us some guidance. They didn't invest any money in the business or anything like that. It was simply just a matter of, hey, we'll guide you and help you guys break through that plateau of the hitting from the 0 to million mark, which we did. And from there, just different goals. We wanted to keep pushing the business, and they were heading in a different direction. So we're all still friends and keep in contact. So it was very good, and it really helped us. I mean, if I can say any advice to any small to medium business or small business owner who's starting up, is to be very, very careful who you get advice from, because we've gotten a lot of bad advice, from other business experts before who didn't have the really the achievements to back up their statements. So we went and found guys who we know had done it properly and got them to help us out. And getting advice from the right people is really important.
And is that paid advice? Was that just advice through networking with people? How did that advice come about?
We've done everything from networking. We've done paid advice. We pay advisors, CFOs, business, auditors, that type of stuff. So we do a mixture of different networking, mentors, paid advice. So. Yeah.
Great. And Andrew, talking about tenacity, would you say that you've had that tenacity since you were young, or is it something that only came about with the passion of the business? Where did it come about?
Yeah, no, I think ever since I was a child, I've always had it. I've always done my own thing, from selling things on eBay to buying things from school and selling it to different people. It was always about making a dollar, and I got a lot of that from my father. My father being an entrepreneur and starting his business when he was younger as well, so it's obviously go to him for a lot of advice. So no, most definitely it's been around since I've been young, or since I can remember.
And Mez, are you the same?
Yeah, same thing as Andrew. I mean, my I think when we first started talking in uni, I had a business selling like televisions and stuff on eBay. So I was always trying to figure out different ways to get ahead, and I was importing like projectors and stuff from China and selling them on eBay. So it was always something that was always there. Family was in business my whole life, so exposed to small to medium business. It was always something that was always like heaps front of mind, that it's like you can, getting into a business is good. You don't just have to go and become a doctor or get a really fancy degree or something like that to be successful. There are other ways of doing it. So
you both went to university, and Mez, you talked about your family with a history in business as well. But Andrew, do you feel as though your university education has played a role in your business skills and experience, or do you think that maybe it was just a stepping stone to where you needed to get to?
I think it was more of a stepping stone. I think what you learn at university is a lot of the admin side of things. I don't think it teaches you about business and starting business and stuff like that. But the best thing I got out of uni was networking. So, Mez and I met a lot of great people at uni. We obviously met at uni, and we'll be able to even do business with people that we actually met at uni as well. So obviously being surrounded by a certain caliber of people that want to be successful, that want to get a degree, and that want to get good jobs and move ahead in life, being surrounded by that has played a really, really big stepping stone into business today for us.
And Mez, finally on tenacity, obviously it's very important as you move forward in the business. How many times, honestly, have you wanted to just throw it all in and quit?
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.